I had a client, she has 18 properties. Initially, she says she has LLCs, and then she had a lawsuit. One of the units had some sort of water damage. There was a lawsuit filed. We find out that, yes, the accountant has set up an LLC, but the properties have never been transferred into the LLCs. The properties are still under her name. They're aggressive. They're not going away. I have these two good friends, and we play poker every month. Our families hang out. They are a plaintiff's attorney. I talk to these guys all the time. I started to think, okay, what do these attorneys that bring these lawsuits, the slip and fall, the habitability claims, discrimination claims, what goes into their mind? These plaintiff's attorney, in most cases, when they do take a case, they get their compensation is a fraction, a percentage of what they collect. So my friends, average a year to 2 years, they spend on a case. They don't get any money. They're not collecting hourly. They spend their time. They pay their employees. And what they want to find out when a client goes to them, they don't just hire the client. In most cases, they want to figure out a few things. You as the investor, the first question you ask is, what is the cap rate? My two buddies, they don't ask what the cap rate is. They look, okay, so the first thing they ask, was there an injury? Is there a claim? That's usually the first thing they kind of want to find out. But you don't even really have the plaintiff, they don't even really need to have that good of a claim. If they have some sort of an injury, then the next question they ask, who is the defendant? If it's real estate, they'll search up the real estate. They call me up. Ali, can you search this guy? Tell me how many properties he has. I help them. So they're searching properties. So they find out who the owner is. They want to find out who the owner is. Who owns the apartment building? Is it under their personal name? If it is, why don't we search the person's name to find out if they have other properties? Their mindset is that they don't want to take a case and spend a year or 2 years and get nothing. They don't want to spend a year or two and then have to pay $140,000 like my 2% cap rate story. They want to make sure that this is a case that if they spend their time, they're going to be able to get compensated. When I do asset protection planning, and I work with a lot of real estate investors and we do asset protection planning, this is sort of I like to tell them what is their mindset, what is the mindset of the attorney that is filing the lawsuit. So then we could try to put a plan together that make us not collectible, that we don't look like the big target. We want to be a small target. I had a client, she has 18 properties, all under her personal name. She went to her accountant. She said initially she says she has LLCs. So I said, great. She's like, I've been filing tax returns for 18 years for these LLCs. And then she had a lawsuit. One of the units had some sort of water damage. There was a lawsuit filed. And now she's all worried about everything else. We find out that, yes, the accountant has set up an LLC and there's been tax returns that have been filed, but the properties have never been transferred into the LLCs. The properties are still under her name and they're aggressive. They're not going away. A lot of times with asset protection, there's lots of different things I could do. But usually the first step is, how do we get stuff off our name? If you go on the internet now in the next 10 minutes and you search your name, can you find all your properties? That's what the credit attorney is doing. And so a lot of time with asset protection, sometimes it seems simple, but they become very important to make sure you don't own any property under your personal name. We use land trusts sometimes, we use LLCs, we use Wyoming holding LLCs, we use Arizona limited partnerships, we use irrevocable trust, asset protection trust. I could keep telling you the different things that we do, but what I really like to tell my clients that it's not just like one thing that we're going to do. In most cases, a true asset protection plan, it's layered of plannings that we're going to do. We want to make sure you have good insurance. Insurance is like the number one defense for us. It doesn't matter how many LLCs you have. LLCs do not pay for attorney fees. They do not pay claims. So it's really a combination of these things.